Woody lived the last few years of his life that he wasn't in the hospital. He lived in Coney Island. It was kind of the only home he ever had. He lived in New York City longer than he did any place else in his life. And we stood out on the beach near where Woody's ashes had been scattered. Me and Billy Bragg and Tim Robbins and Nora Guthrie and her kids and her grandkids. And she told us a story about scattering Woody's ashes, or trying to, but they couldn't get him to come out of the can. So they finally decided to just throw the whole can out to the Atlantic Ocean, but it kept washing back into the beach. Woody wasn't ready to go. And finally, she reckoned it was Earle, who was just a kid, just a teenager, that came up with the idea of filling the can with enough water that it would sink. And they sunk him off the end of the jetty, and for all we know, he's still there. And they said that they didn't know what to do because none of them, had grown up with any sort of organized religion of any sort. So they finally decided the thing to do was to go back up to Nathan's and get a hot dog and some french fries, because that was Woody's favorite meal. So they went and got him one, they sat against the building and they ate them. So that's what we did. I'm haunted by Woody for a lot of reasons. This is, he invented my job, and he, whenever we get into a spot like we're in right now, like when I wrote this song, I felt like we were in a spot, and I just wondered what Woody would do. I spend a lot of time wondering what Woody would do. This next election is the latest in a series that I've truly believed were the most important elections of my lifetime. And every time I think things can't get any more fucked up and the election can't get any more important, it does. When I wrote this song, the guy I voted for was winning again, and I voted for him the first time. And I sometimes to this day couldn't figure out why. But then I remember, I am well to the left of a Democrat. I've never voted for anything other than a Democratic candidate in any national election. Now, it's not, I have friends that voted for third-party candidates. I just never could bring myself to do it. I understand it. Now, it's important to remember that there have been some elections, though, in our recent past, really close elections, that if it hadn't been for some well-meaning people voting their conscience, which you can't fault somebody for voting their conscience, but the fact of the matter is, in our primitive form of democracy that we practice in this country, where there are only two viable parties, and it's rigged that way, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet. Because folks, we wouldn't have had to deal with George W. Bush if it hadn't been for the fact that, number one, a lot of people voted their conscience, and then the other side cheated. And that made a difference between those two. They're going to cheat again. Hell, they're already doing it. So, now anybody, I don't think there's anybody that comes to my shows that thinks that Barack Obama's a socialist. But if you know anybody that thinks that Barack Obama's a socialist, just tell them, Steve Earle is a socialist. And he promises you that Barack Obama is not. gonna vote for him this time. The reason I am is the difference between candidates, the difference between parties in this country. People in Europe ask me all the time what I think the difference between a Democrat and a Republican is. And it's simple. It's Supreme Court justices. We got a lot of old people on that court, folks. Whoever the next president of the United States is going to probably appoint 2 and maybe even 3 justices. And you know what happened last time? This court that we have right now, you may not agree with me about this, but I grew up completely uncomfortable with the idea of men telling women what to do with their bodies. If we elect a Republican president this time around, folks, that's what Roberts was put on the court for. He doesn't care about the health care bill. He's there if Roe versus Wade comes up before the court in any form. That's why he wanted to be there, and that's why he was put there, and that's what he's saving his bullets for. Believe that if you don't believe anything else about American politics at this moment in history. This health care bill, it isn't what I wanted. It isn't what we need. But go back and read history. Read about the Civil Rights Bill in 1957, which Lyndon Johnson actually had a lot to do with, well, his only reason that it passed. And by the time it passed, it had absolutely no teeth in the South, where it needed where it could have done the most good. But without that bill being passed in 57, the Voters' Right Act doesn't get passed, and we don't end up where we are today. And I believe that that's what we have in this health care bill, and we cannot afford to let them take it away. It took too long. And we got to give this back credit. Nobody has been able, a lot of people have tried to pass some sort of health care bill in this country, and nobody's been able to do it but this president.
Sweet home Chicago.
I'll vote for him for that, if nothing else. But it's going to be a close election. God knows what's going to happen at the conventions. I have some friends that have plans. I don't know. If Woody was here right now, well, I know he would have been in Zuccotti Park.
Yes.
And I know he would have been in Madison.
Yeah. Seattle. Yeah.
Pretty sure he wouldn't vote Republican, so he would tell you that I'm pretty positive that you can change the world with music, but not by listening to music. Listening to music's good for you, it's therapeutic and everything. But if you want to change the world, it's necessary that you sing. It's necessary that you sing loud.
All right.
It's Christmas time in Washington. Democrats rehearse, getting in the gear for 4 more years. Things not getting worse. Republicans ring whistling, thank their lucky stars. They say you cannot see another turn. There'll be no more FDR. I said home in Tennessee, staring at the screen, uneasy feeling in my chest, wondering what it means. Come on. Come back, Woody Guthrie. Come back to us now. Take your eyes from paradise and rise again somehow. sold my soul for wheels that roll. Now I'm stuck here in this town. So come back, Guthrie. Come back to us now. Tell us paradise. You run into Jesus, maybe He can help us out. Come back, Woody Guthrie, to us now. Woody, the foxes in the hen house, cows out in the corn, wagons have been busted, their proud red banners torn. If you listen to the radio, they'll tell you all is well, but you and me, Cisco, know it's going straight to hell. So come back, Emma Goldman. Rise up, old Joe Hill.